Welcome to the Girl Gang. I'm Katrina Gardner of Katrina and Create.
And I'm Dominique Audette Connor of Evergreen Marketing. On this show, we're going to chat with women business owners in Massachusetts and those who support local women in business.
Because girls don't just want to have fun. They also want to sell real estate.
They want to open a brewery.
They want to teach others to invest in the stock market.
They want to take stunning photos, plan lavish parties, and help people recover from injuries.
Girls just want a podcast.
What can we say?
We're girls.
Okay.
Welcome to Girls Just Wanna.
Hi.
We're back.
We're back, and we, and I mean me, I can't speak for you, we're at our wits' end.
I am actually at my wits'
Okay.
end. Yeah.
Hell yeah, brother. I hope that's not another clap that helps with the syncing of the mics. But
Okay.
let me tell you, this most recent ice storm / snowstorm / rainstorm / wind,
Yeah.
Storm-mageddon or whatever we're going to call it,
Yeah.
had it. Disaster.
Yeah.
Whole neighborhood, driveway, everything.
Oh, I can't even imagine your street.
So I think I've mentioned this before on the pod, but I live in a very hilly neighborhood in Worcester.
Yeah.
The street that I technically live on is a private road, so
Yeah.
the city does not do anything to it. And then the streets around it, because I live on the lake, are all like dirt roads, basically.
Right.
And so even if the city plows that, it's a dirt road, so it just turns to mush and nastiness. And
To get to Dominique's, you have to go down towards the lake. It's like The Office when you're driving into the lake, except you're actually supposed to go that way.
I drove my car into a lake. Why? Because the GPS told me to. Michael, this is the lake. Ryan's precious technology.
Oh my
Well,
God.
that's not the only way to get there.
That's true.
You can go around, but like that's my street. The street
Yes.
that you drive, you're like, oh, I'm going to this street. Okay, so you drive down that street, which is not the best way to get there because it is, as you say, a hill that leads to the lake. So all the streets around are a disaster. The cleanup was terrible. Also, every store in Central Mass is sold out of ice melt and sand. So my landlord does not have any ice melt or sand. So we have done zero cleanup
Yikes.
since the storm, zero treatment.
Yikes.
My whole driveway is an ice rink. I cannot back out of my driveway without hitting my neighbor's car.
Mhm.
So now I have to text my neighbor every time I want to leave and come home so that I can get back into my driveway. Because even if I wanted to, which I don't want to, even if I wanted to, there's no street parking in my neighborhood.
Right.
There's barely a street. It's a one-way street. You can't park there. So it has been a disaster. It has been mentally and physically trying not to slip on the ice every time I walk out of my door, draining. And I'm done with it. And just the way, now those are not my only problems in life right now.
Mm-hmm.
But the way that 80-degree weather could solve 80% of my problems right now,
Yeah.
insane.
Seasonal depression is a real thing. 100%.
Seasonal depression and just it's yucky out there.
It's so amazing when the weather finally turns and you're go outside and you're oh,
all my problems have gone away.
Yeah.
So I'm ready for a warm-up, quite frankly.
Mhm.
It would solve a lot of issues for me right now.
I went to a meeting this week, and anytime I go to client meetings, even if it's not a photography thing, I want to take photos. So I was let me take photos outside before I leave. After 5 minutes of my bare hand holding onto that camera with the wind, because it was so windy. Because I was it's not that cold out, but then I checked the weather after when I'm in my car with the heat blasting and my numb red hand.
It's feels like 4 degrees.
It said feels like -1, and I'm okay,
hell yeah.
So not a fan. Not
No.
a fan.
I've been riding the struggle bus all week.
Me too.
It's been bad. So it's supposed to get up to, believe it or not, 40 next week.
No
42.
way.
And I'm Lord, let this melt.
I know. One of the last times that we recorded, we talked about Jamie's birthday party. It hasn't happened yet because we had to postpone
Oh no.
because of the snow. I mean, we
That
didn't have
sucks.
to. But,
Right, but it just makes
but
sense.
I did.
Yeah.
And then we postponed it to March because it was like, we'll just wait until it's like
Yeah.
better
I know.
out.
I know. Right now we're recording and it's late February, and I know we're not out of the woods yet because, quite frankly, I remember last year I had a flight the first week in April that was delayed and rescheduled and all this stuff because of snow and ice. So I just remember it snowing in April last year. Can't catch a break.
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah. Not fun. Not fun.
All right. Well, on that note.
On that lovely note, let's bring in our guest.
Yeah.
Hey ladies, are you looking to grow your own local girl gang?
The Young Professional Women's Association has been named Worcester Region's Best Young Professionals Network for 7 years now.
YPWA offers countless social and professional opportunities to engage and empower local ladies like you and me.
Right now, Girls Just Wanna listeners can get discounted access to YPWA's annual membership.
Go to ypwaworcester.com and enter code podcast2025 at checkout to receive $20 off their annual membership. Again, that promo code is podcast2025. We hope to see you soon at YPWA events.
Welcome to the show, Stephanie Audette.
Thank you.
You are the founder of Awen & Co.
Very good. Yes.
Thank you. Thank
You
you.
said it
Well,
correctly.
it's a new business name, so
Yes.
we're all
It is.
acclimating here. So
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people already know you, and as a great follow on Instagram, BT Dubs, as Steph Audette Design.
Yes.
Mhm.
Exactly.
So now 2025 is here, and you've started this new venture. But anyways, before we get into all of that, I guess just kind of introduce yourself.
Who am
and
I?
Yeah.
Who are you?
What do
And you're a graphic designer, and so kind of what that is, I
Yeah.
guess.
That's the hardest question to answer.
I
nowadays.
know.
Who
I
are
know.
you?
Existential
well,
crisis begins.
It is, right? So my full name is Stephanie Audette Connor. I did
Mhm.
get married, so that's all going well. But I am a I'm a graphic designer. I graduated Mass College of Art and Design in 2012, so it's been a long time.
Yeah.
And I've been working under Stephanie Audette Design for, this is actually 10 years in business.
Wow, congratulations.
So it's been definitely a journey. I love
Yeah.
web design. I love graphic design. I love package design. Mostly working with small businesses. I'm also a mom. I'm also a wife. I also now lead a team. I'm super into getting into spirituality and all those realms, which is really cool too. And I love supporting local businesses and women-owned businesses too. So I'm
Yay.
excited
Dominique,
to be here.
I don't know if you know, Stephanie and I met back in 2013-ish, maybe, around then.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
wow. Okay, I didn't know this.
Yeah, because
Oh,
I
that's-
interned at a company that she was working for.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah.
Graphic designer meets graphic designer.
Yes,
Shake
yes.
hand emoji.
Yeah, so we met over 10 years ago.
That sounds so scary.
I know. And it's been great, staying connected and for me, seeing Stephanie start her own business and start working with all these different companies in the Worcester and beyond area. So, and it's been very exciting to see that you are starting a brand new venture this year with your new company.
So we obviously want to hear about all things Awen
Yeah.
& Co.
Awen &
So
Co.
you've started this
Okay.
design collective, it sounds like, and now you have a team of people. So it's not just Stephanie Audette Connor. It is
Awen
Stephanie
& Co.
plus all the other people.
Yes.
Tell us all the things.
Yeah. So I've always no, I'm going to work for myself. I don't want to manage anybody.
Yeah.
Right. I just never wanted to do that. And then within this kind of spiritual personal growth, the journey over the last 2 years, having a child who's 4.5, and just being pulled in all directions, I'm like, okay, I either need to slow down work or I can build a team, right? And I had a couple different women intern with me over the years that I thought we worked very well together. And kind of through that, I'm like, what the heck? Let's try it. Let's try and build a team and see what happens type of
Yeah.
thing. because I have nothing to lose, and why not try?
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I did. I threw it out to them, and I'm like, you guys are all great designers. Do you want to see if we can build some sort of team? I never want to touch marketing. Sorry, guys. That is like,
It's okay.
you guys
Fair.
are amazing at that.
Call us if you need us.
Exactly.
Call
like,
me, beat me if you want to reach me. You know what I'm saying?
I don't want to touch that with a 10-foot pole. Like social media, like it's too much for me. I love graphic design, branding, packaging, all the visual elements. So yeah, bringing all 4 of us together to focus on graphic design, and then bring in partners like you guys for social media marketing, like whatever else they need or referring.
Yeah.
So we don't have to touch that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so a few of them, actually, there's Lucy Glover. She just graduated Mass Art a couple of years ago. Same Mass Art graphic design. Well, now it's called communication design.
Yeah.
Ellie Ellis, who's an illustrator, and she lives in Worcester, and she's been here forever. She went to Mass Art and graduated in illustration. And then Sam Dahl, who's been doing graphic design for a while, and she's a Marlboro. So we've all kind of collabed, and we're kind of building this collective where we can kind of give each other feedback. I think the product is so much better when you have someone else to talk to.
And also like graphic design, I don't think people realize just how much that can encompass. Like there's so many different areas of design, whether it's packaging or logo design or the branding and like or illustrating, because not all graphic designers are great artists and vice versa. So being able to have like a team that can really help you branch out and like be full service graphic design agency.
Yeah, and they're all so talented in their own ways, and they all bring something different to the table. So it's very exciting. But Awen and Co. So the name, which everyone's like, how are you saying it? Awen, what is going on?
Yeah.
Okay. So going down the spiritual journey, I was learning about Druidry. Have you heard of Druidry?
No.
I've heard of it.
Okay.
Wait, how do you spell this?
Druid, like a druid, Druidry.
Oh.
It's basically, this is how I understand it. So, in old Celtic culture in Ireland and stuff, they were basically people who kind of talked to plants, used like plant medicines and that sort of thing. And they have this unwritten kind of history to them. But anyways, I was listening to a podcast about it. So I'm like, what the heck is this? And the word awen came on. And immediately my brain's like, that's it. I've been looking for like a 4-letter name, right? Short name. And it basically means creating intuitively.
Oh, perfect.
Nice.
Perfect for your brand.
Yeah. So tapping into that kind of intuition and creating in that kind of flow. And I'm like, this is so me right now because I'm getting into all of that.
Yeah.
And I always feel like I've just naturally done that, where I can take all this information from a company and like kind of spit it back to them intuitively as to just in a visual way, almost.
Right.
So yeah, that's kind of the reason we had the name, and Co.
That's cool.
Because we're all collaborating, of course.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. And how interesting that you literally were just like listening to a podcast and just like that word resonated so much, and it ended up like aligning so well with how you kind of already work and like how your process is kind of already in place.
Exactly.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
Oh my gosh, so exciting. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm kind of blown away by that. It's taking me a second.
I know.
Oh my gosh, so fun. Okay, so you and these 3 other ladies doing this together, how are you like dividing work, right? Like, is there something that, because you said each of you have your own strengths, right? Like you have a very strong illustrator or whatever. So how are you like, like a company comes in, wants to work with you. What's that like division of labor kind of look like as far as taking on new projects or working with the same? Are you all working with one client at the same time? Or are you divvying them up?
It depends on the project, and we're learning as we go too, because I've never had to manage a team before. So we're trying to figure out like whose skills will best fit with which project. Of course, and we're always giving feedback to each other, and we're all giving input to every project. So we have retainer clients who are just like, I need new graphics every month, that I just need some small things here and there. And then we have the bigger clients, which are like the full brand identity. We're working with a really cool coffee company coming up, which is just like
Nice.
super exciting.
Yeah.
So we'll do packaging and that sort of thing. And that's more of like a whole team approach where we're really diving into strategy and kind of bringing everybody's ideas together. So
Nice.
Yeah.
So you're going to continue to work with small businesses as this collective? which,
ideally small to medium size.
Yeah.
But we love to work with really creative businesses. Like packaging is so much fun. If you've ever gotten your hands on that.
I've purchased like bath and body products from one of the branding packages that you've done before. And and they had like a pop-up at the Natick Mall, and I just remember being like, Stephanie made this logo, like this is so cool. And like I remember like getting the products and the packaging, because then I liked the company and I started buying from them and having stuff shipped. And yeah, it's just like packaging can make such a difference, and people don't really realize it, but like just the feeling that you get when you have a nice thing to like unwrap or like open up, it makes, even like my HelloFresh boxes, like, you know, it's just like so cool with like the branding that's on the package.
It's like a whole experience. And then there's like all the sustainability aspects to it now, where you can get certain inks and certain types of paper. And for like the coffee company, they're going to be using tins. Remember how coffee beans used to come?
Yeah.
In like those big Folgers.
They
still come in there.
Yeah.
But they're going to go back to steel tins, because they are, oh my gosh, I totally forgot the what's it called? The percentage. But basically they're kind of a circular sustainability item.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Where I think almost 95, I can't remember, I think it's like 95% of steel ever made is still like in the recycling system and stuff. So none of it gets, a little bit of it, only a little bit gets discarded.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's that too.
Yeah. So would you say packaging is like your favorite part of work that you get to do? Like it's the most
I would
fun?
love to do more of it.
Yeah.
But brand identity is really like my bread and butter. Like I just dive into it and I love it so much.
Yeah.
And it's probably like a challenge too, because I think a lot of times, from my experience, clients have no idea what they want. And then it's your job to like not come up with it for them, but help them figure it out, what it is that they want.
Yeah, and that's why we do so much strategy at the beginning, where we really, and education. I love educating.
Yeah.
I actually worked for Becker College before they closed for several semesters. And just teaching like the branding process and what actually goes into it. Like I don't just make a pretty logo and stuff it on a sticker, right? But going through that whole process and digging into the brand and what it means and all that stuff. I don't know where I was going with that, but
yeah. Well, it's a whole like brand identity process. I think there's this common misconception in marketing as well. Just like, okay, my brand is my logo. Like brand equals logo. And that's not, as you know better than anyone, that is not true. It's a whole slew of things and ideas and concepts and values.
Yeah, I think you have to think of a brand as a person.
Yeah.
Right? Like, what are your values? How are you speaking to people? How do you present yourselves? So, it's more than just a look in a post.
Yeah. So let's kind of touch briefly then on the services that you are able to offer now as a collective, because I know there's like a few different. So packaging design, of course, brand identity, branding, web design.
We do web design. I've used the Wix platform since 2015, so I'm like a legend on that. You know, there's certain statuses you get to. And then we have a Squarespace designer. And we also have Ellie, who illustrates and does like murals and window art, which is really fun. And I'm so jealous of her talents. Pattern design, like all those things.
Wow. Okay. So basically everything a small to medium business could want visually.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And are you working with just, or are there certain industries that you like to work with better than others? Or are you kind of like any industry, any area?
Usually it's any industry in the area, but ideally we like woman-owned businesses. We love working with women. We like beauty. We like food. We like products, like some
so a lot of product based for sure. Yeah.
Anything with kids.
Yeah.
Anything that's playful is just so much fun. You can be so much more creative too. versus corporate.
Right, and
which
it really
we do,
translates through the brand when you have
Yeah.
something that's already like playful and fun.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You can be even more playful in branding. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So cool. Okay, well, you haven't always been Awen & Co., as we know. You haven't always been Stephanie Audette Design.
Yeah.
Before that, probably back when you guys met, you were working at other agencies.
Yes.
So you were working for other people at one point in your life.
Unfortunately.
As we all do.
We all do,
As
or
we
have
all
to,
do.
or have done. Yes.
I think that's kind of like the journey of a lot of people who end up being small business owners is obviously most of them start out by working for other people and then they decide
And
like,
then realizing, not for me.
Not for me. And then they go off and start their own thing. And so it's very common.
Yeah.
But what was like your experience like kind of taking that leap to working for other people, from working for other people to
yourself,
working for yourself? What was that like?
Oh, it was so long ago now. But
She's blocked it out.
Yeah, it's all a blur. No, it was really hard to find like advertising marketing companies out here as soon as I had graduated. So that was like 2012. And I would literally send my resume, and then I created a postcard resume. So they would physically get it, and crickets.
Yeah.
That was the most frustrating thing ever. I would call, I would email.
Was it looking like in the Central Mass versus the Boston area?
Versus the Boston, yeah. Because Central Mass, it felt like around that time there weren't as many creative agencies. So that was really disheartening. And eventually, what did I do for a job? I was working at a newspaper doing like newspaper ads. And that was not really fun. I worked for another local agency that it was okay. It just I didn't feel like I could be as creative as I wanted to. It was more like, this is what you need to do and this is how you have to do it, right? I think they've gone out of business too. But how I got to working for myself is I was fired. Oh yeah, I said it. Ooh, that felt scary. And sorry, Mike.
That's okay.
That's okay.
I've never been fired in my life, and I was like bawling. I'm like, what did I get fired for? I still don't quite understand.
Yeah.
But I was the last one brought in. I was the youngest one brought in, so I also think plus newspapers are unfortunately dying. So I was let go, and at that point, I'm like, well. I guess I'm just gonna start this up by myself then. Like, why not try?
Yeah.
So I got a part-time job working for as a secretary thing, and then the other half of my day would be working on my trying to get clients and build up my network and that sort of thing. And it was hard, and it was like stepping outside your comfort zone. Like going and meeting new people was terrifying.
Yeah.
And like just being like, hi, this is me. It was so scary. But slowly got like one or two clients, and then they would refer me, and then they would refer me, and that's kind of how it started. And then my handsome husband, with an amazing brain, was like, well, now you can go full time. He's an accountant, so he was watching the numbers.
That
right?
helps.
It did help, but he was also like, not yet. He's like, okay, now you can go full time.
Yeah.
I'm like, thank God I have you. And that at that point I made the transition, and it's been officially 10 years like full time, which is mind boggling.
Yeah. That's so impressive though. It's like an accomplishment, a decade.
It is.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It doesn't feel like that because you just keep going.
Just keep going. You don't really take a moment to be like, oh shoot, I did that.
Right. Like,
but you did.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's so exciting. And now of course you have this next chapter with Awen & Co. and all these other awesome ladies. What's the future hold? What do you see? What's a vision or a dream? Or are you just kind of like, you know what, we're just going to keep going. We're just going to keep figuring it out.
I think we're going to go to Mars. And no.
Sounds good. Sure.
No, I think we're just going to kind of figure it out as a team and see what works and what doesn't work, and hopefully work with some really amazing small companies and brands and help propel them. Like, that's what I love about this work, is that I get to help someone else like up level, like glow up almost. And then watching them succeed even more and growing as a company is like the most fulfilling thing. And I'm sure you guys feel similar in that way, where your work helps propel them.
It does. Yeah. Work in marketing and with this podcast, honestly, like sometimes people are like, oh my God, like I've never done this interview, or like, oh wow, I got like all these followers when you posted that reel. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
our little baby pod did that.
Or even like I've talked to people who have listened to it and been like, oh, I want to like start doing this thing or that thing or like work with this person. It's like, yay.
And it's like,
yeah.
Yeah, it's touching. It's touching.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Amazing.
Well, that's so exciting, and I can't wait to see like what's in store for
Me too.
I
Alan
know.
Co. I mean, right?
I know.
Your-
We'll be
My
following
guess,
along.
I'm sure, is as good as yours, and
Yeah,
we'll just be
see.
watching.
Yeah. Cheering on.
Curiosity. Yeah. Well, okay. So before we go, first of all, where can people find you if they want to work with you and your team?
Well, Awen and Co. So AWEN and AND .co. So that's the website, and that's our Instagram handle, and that's on Facebook. So try to make it one.
Yeah.
You guys would be proud of us. We try to make it
It's
one,
hard to do.
one
hard.
handle
It
for
is,
every
yeah.
day.
Yeah, it's hard to get it on every platform. Okay, so before we go, we like to end every episode by giving guests the opportunity to shout out other women-owned businesses, which I'm sure
Oh my gosh.
you have plenty in mind.
I literally was like, maybe I should make a list, but then we'd be here all night.
Yeah.
Well, lately, Adriana Keefe, she owns the Magnetic Rebellion. So she does like human design work.
Oh, okay.
If you've heard of it, really fun. Like Kim Reed, who owns and works with her mom Vic at Purple Rose Home in Northborough.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, who else? Oh, Lex. I don't know.
Yeah.
Has she been on here?
No, but we
She
need to get her
owns-
on here.
Oh my gosh, Vibes Candles and
Mhm.
Marlboro.
Okay, yeah.
That's what I was thinking of with packaging.
Talk about
My
packaging.
favorite.
She's also a graphic designer. She's
Yeah.
amazing. She made this beautiful packaging that looks like a crystal, and you open it. It's just
It's
like
amazing.
a full
I
experience.
didn't want to throw the package out.
No, you feel bad.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, she's on our list. I've seen her name on the thing before.
Yeah.
We'll get her on here.
Right?
Well, thank you so much, Steph, for coming.
Thank you guys for having me.
It's been great to catch up, and again, we're so excited for everything that's in store.
We do.
Yeah.
Want to show your love for all the local ladies in business? Girls Just Want a Podcast merch is now available on Etsy.
From stickers to mugs and hats to tumblers, you can rep your favorite gal gang wherever you go.
Your purchase helps us continue to rent studio space, upgrade our recording equipment, and pay for editing software.
Find Girls Just Want a merch on Katrina and Create's Etsy shop. Link is in the show notes. Heart it or hate it?
Heart it or hate it.
Are we ready?
Yes.
Do you want to start?
Sure.
Okay.
Heart it or hate it. Mio, like Mio drops, you know, the little
Yes.
like water additives.
Yes. Hate it.
Why?
Well, to be fair, I haven't tried it in like 10 years.
Oh, they're good.
I think I remember my mom bought them for me when they first came out, and I just remember adding like 50 drops, and I was like, I can't taste anything. So
wow.
maybe it's changed.
Maybe.
Or maybe I had the flu and couldn't taste things.
You had COVID before it was COVID. Yeah. COVID-19 before COVID-19 happened.
So you,
Heart it.
Yeah.
I especially like the lemonade ones.
okay.
So just gives a little oomph to your water. And so it's like not even drinking water. It's like drinking a lemonade.
I mean, I definitely love to put flavorings into my waters.
Yeah.
That's
You're a
basically
flavored water girl.
That's basically the only way you can convince me to drink water.
I was gonna say you don't drink like plain water, I don't think.
No, not really.
You're like, unless I have to swallow a pill and then I take one singular sip.
Joke's on you. I take my pills with Diet Coke.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you do. That's funny.
No, I usually do a Crystal Light, a raspberry lemonade. Crystal
Oh,
Light.
yummy. Yeah, well, I like the Mio because it's like a few dollars
Mm-hmm.
for the pod thing,
Mm-hmm.
and you just squeeze out as much as you'd like. So it's not like you have to do a whole packet of anything.
Right.
You don't have to shake really. I
Yeah.
just pour my water, stir.
Okay, I'll try it.
It's delish.
I'll try it.
Yeah.
I have this.
I'm having
testimonial.
lemonade every day.
I went through a summer where I was making lemonade. That
with
was
like
fun.
actual lemons.
Yeah.
Dang.
It was because of TikTok. I saw like TikTok videos of people making fair lemonade where you just put the whole lemon in there and you leave it in and you just like mash it and then add sugar. And I'd use a shaker bottle, like a fitness shaker bottle, to just shake it up.
So good.
Shake it up.
Anyway, okay. So I'm a hate it, but I'll give it a try.
Okay. You're like, my mind can be changed.
Yeah. Heart it or hate it. I don't know if I'm gonna say this right. Sherbet.
I mean, I say sherbet.
I say sherbet.
But you know the spelling doesn't have that second R.
Yes.
I think this is a point of like contention in like the frozen dessert community.
I know, you're the expert.
I know, I should be the expert here. I've definitely heard people say sherbet.
But I too.
I have always pronounced it sherbet, and I think that that's like
just it's been passed down incorrectly.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like you don't know what you're saying.
It's sherbet.
It's sherbet. I know. Okay. I'm gonna say hate it. I know. But the reason is not because I have anything against desserts. I have a sweet tooth.
Yes.
The reason is because I am the ice cream queen. So
you're the ice cream queen, not the sherbet queen.
Yeah, I want ice cream.
Yeah.
Made with, cream and milk and dairy and lots of sugar.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So not sugar-free or dairy-free ice cream.
Exactly. Yeah, no.
I haven't had it in forever.
I know, me either.
I'm gonna say
I'm too busy eating real ice cream.
I'm gonna say heart it. The thing that made me think of this was we actually have Italian ice in the freezer right now.
Oh, good.
So it's obviously not the same thing, but I've always really liked Italian ice. I didn't pick it up. Jamie saw it and said, that looks delicious. And I was like, load it up, kid. It's great going to the grocery store with Jamie these days. Super fun.
Whatever he wants, you're just like, hell yeah. You're like, it's fine. We're not going through inflation. We get cha-ching, cha-ching, add it to the cart.
Yep. But that kind of made me think of like, oh yeah, when I was a kid, we used to have sherbet all the time, and I loved it. And it was that like tub that came with like the green and the red and the orange.
Yes, the tubs are like what my childhood. Like we had the least expensive ice cream in the house, and it was a tub of vanilla and chocolate, and it was the worst ice cream ever. But as a kid, you're like, oh my god, I have a bucket of ice cream.
Yeah,
Yep. Quality, not great, but quantity, hell yeah.
It's like pizza, even bad pizza. It's like pizza. So even bad ice cream. You're eating ice cream.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine with me, I guess. Okay. Heart it or hate it. Walking pads. So I remember, I think it was last episode or a couple episodes ago, we talked about the standing desks and how you bought one hoping that you would like be standing more during the day or you bought this thing and so I don't have a standing desk and I don't have a walking pad. I am, however, trying to get more steps in the day because I realized even though I kickbox like 6 days a week, like I'm like, active.
You're
literally
very active.
No, but that's the thing. Literally besides that, all I do is sit all day at the computer or at the TV. Like, we are marketing girls. We work at our laptops all day long.
Yeah.
Quite literally, if I don't go to kickboxing, I take like 10 steps a day. So, like from my bed to my desk, from my desk to my bathroom, like that's pretty much it. So I've been trying to go on more walks, okay? But as we discussed, the issue with that is I live in a trash neighborhood where it's all ice and snow and sleet and disgustingness and potholes right now. And so I have many a times in the past few weeks where I'm like, I'm going to go get my steps in. Almost slipped and cracked my head open.
Yikes.
So I'm like,
maybe I should do this indoors.
I know, but I don't want to get a walking pad. And again, I live in an apartment. So if I'm on the walking pad, like, can my downstairs neighbors hear every single step I take? The walls are thin, I'm stuck, quite frankly. So I don't know.
I've never used one.
Neither have I.
I'm going to say heart it. I heard the idea. I came so close to buying one because of TikTok Shop a while ago.
And now, so I think they were like a real hot commodity when the pandemic really started and everybody had to work from home and they were like going crazy. So everybody bought a walking pad. Now that a lot of people either returned to office or gave up on that
or they're
dream.
on Facebook Marketplace.
A lot of them are, you can find them on Facebook Marketplace or whatever, So if you want one, it's definitely worth getting a used one because people are like, oh, I'm just not using it anymore. There's not usually anything wrong with them.
I do remember having the concern about the sound And there were different like reviews and TikTok videos. I'd be like, oh, it's not that loud, blah, blah, blah. No, I heard the idea of it. I think I realized that it wouldn't have been a good expense for me.
Mhm.
It would have been one of those things where I use it for a week.
It's
and
like
then
a fad.
Yeah. So I don't heart it for me, but I heart the idea of it. Go for it.
Now I have to answer my own question. Heart it or hate it? I'm stuck because I heard it for other people and I think I hate it for me because like also where would I store it in my tiny ass apartment?
That's true.
Okay, I have to go hate it because I don't think it's a realistic option for me at this moment.
Okay.
Because I'm like worried about the storage. I'm worried about my neighbors hearing it. It's like too much.
All right.
I'm going hate it. Okay.
My last one, heart it or hate it, ponchos. Like fashion ponchos, not like rain ponchos. Do you know what made me think of this?
That's a throwback.
So there's these like two creators, they're twins, Brooklyn and Bailey, and they posted a throwback video from when they first, like they're probably your age. I think they're like 25-ish.
Thank you. I'm so you're saying I'm young?
I am.
But you're saying I'm just a baby?
Yeah, just a baby. They started their YouTube like when they were kids, or their mom did.
Oh,
so they posted this throwback to like their first vlog together, and one of the girls was wearing like a cotton comfy poncho. And I was like, bring ponchos back. I just want to wear a blanket all day.
Okay. That is so funny because when I saw ponchos on the list, I was like, oh, hate it. Like rain ponchos.
Yeah.
Like you go to a baseball game, it starts raining, they sell you a $10 trash bag to put over yourself. Hate that. I'd rather be soaking wet.
Yeah.
But I forgot that those existed.
I loved myself a poncho.
Me too.
And I want them. And then I was like, my mom still wears ponchos.
Does she?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I haven't even seen a poncho in so long. So
You're right. That's her uniform. She wears black leggings and a poncho, like every day.
Okay, so if I remember correctly, a poncho really just has like a head hole.
Mm-hmm.
And it just kind of drapes over the front and drapes over the back, but you don't have sleeves.
Correct. It's a blanket with a head hole.
Okay.
But it's deemed appropriate to wear out in the world.
Okay. I definitely had, I do remember this one that I had that I loved. I was probably in second grade and it was like pink and red.
Yeah.
And I was like, my poncho.
Yeah.
Like, I am so stylish. Yeah. I mean, that's probably the last time I wore a poncho, but
I think they'll come back. Everything comes back.
Everything comes back. Okay, I'll go hard it. Let's get ahead of that. You know what? You know what? Team Poncho.
Yes.
Make America Poncho again 2025.
That is something I can get behind.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I think, you know what? It probably won't even take place. Like, we'll be watching this back a year from now. And it's like, oh my God.
Wearing our ponchos.
We called that. Like, it started here.
You're welcome, world.
Remember our names. We started the poncho movement. That's so funny. Okay, yeah, I'm going hard at.
I'll see you next time in our ponchos.
Yeah, next episode, poncho up.
We're just like sitting here. Hello. All right.
That's it for Heart It or Hate
That's it. Later, ladies.
Later. Oh. The claw. And scene. Okay.